dia. Intense. Normal size, but he fling himself stretch.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Untold Truth. Tonight, first I want to thank the new U97.5 FM Multicultural Radio, which is under the ZMB Communications Network. And then to make this podcast and show possible tonight is because of Alpha Transport Limited. They have two locations. One is in Barrapore. They are at 405 Kumuto Road in Barrapore. And the number is 654-0133 and 654-0409. And the second location is Point Lisas. And it's on Alpha Drive, 289 Alpha Drive. And their number is 636-0465. And I want to say thank you so much for sponsoring this program tonight, because we're trying to get out a lot of good information for people to better their lives, to make things a lot more better, more righteous maybe. I'm not trying to turn you all into preachers. But what I'm trying to do, let's try to be better individuals, out in public and to ourselves. And I want to say hello, Garvin.
Yes, hello.
And then in our audience, I want to say during the podcast, if you have a question, just go up to the mic and you can ask your question. Anybody out there that's actually listening and they want to WhatsApp a question, you can WhatsApp us at 354-4459. That is 354-4459. If it's international, just put an 868 in front of that. So, Garvin, tonight, It's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little different. I'm going to talk about a topic that affects a lot of people, but they don't know. A lot of people don't even know that this is happening to them during their everyday life. And as you know, you've been around me for a while.
Yes.
You see that people come in and you see the people that's working with me doing the work.
Yes.
They came in with this problem.
Yes.
And then they were asking the who, what, when, and where questions.
Yeah, that's correct.
But tonight, the actual topic, and I want to say thank you for the viewers abroad and all you listening on the radio as you're driving down the road. But make sure you focus down the road while while you're listening, okay? I don't want nobody to get hurt. And all of you out there, sit back in your homes and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and soak in the information. Tonight's topic, spiritual gifts. What is a spiritual gift? So, Garvin, I'm going to put you in the hot seat today. What do you think a spiritual gift is?
It's a quality within the human being that they most of the time they're unaware that they have a gift, and they think that it's some kind of abnormality, mental instability, or something like that.
Correct.
Until they can get somebody to explain to them, which is rare that you find somebody who can give them a good rational explanation as to what's going on within them. And most of the time they get wrong advice, bad advice. They go to psychiatrists and they get misled, and they go in the wrong direction. Some might even take medication and so on. So that's the negative aspect of the gift that someone might have, is that 80% or 90% of them are unaware of that it's a thing given by God, and
Right.
And how to use it, and how to utilize it, and how to understand it.
Right, but let's go a little deeper. The reason they went there, some strange things are happening within themselves. And also some people, some of them that came to us said, am I going nuts? Then they also went to, like you said, psychiatrists,
Yes,
counselors.
counselors.
They went to religious leaders.
Yes.
Now, one of the big things, people, and I'm not knocking nobody, but what everyone that was told when they came here, they had a demon inside of them. That this is not normal.
Yes.
Okay? And that's not true. If there's a demon in you, we're going to know there's a demon in you. And you're also going to know, and everybody around you going to know, because your behavior is going to be way out of the norm. But a spiritual gift, it develops slowly within you. It creeps.
Yes. It creeps on you.
And it's coming slower and slower and slower. Then, I just talked to some last week, some people, and they were making the statement, gosh, my feet are burning like fire,
Yes.
like you're walking on coals.
Yes.
Is that normal? Do I have diabetes? Do I have bursitis? Or gout? A lot of people, they're panicking.
Yeah.
Because what people normally do, they actually Google it
Yeah.
to what are the symptoms, and then they try to see what the medical term is.
Yeah.
But people, I want to let you know, is that when certain gifts materialize, the energy is going to start at your extremities, and it's going to creep. And your feet might get very hot. Then you're going to feel like little crawly things, energy going up your legs. And that's another symptom. But before we get into all the symptoms, there are many types of gifts.
Yes. Yes.
Many. But before we get into the many types, where does the gift come from?
And before we get into that, Master, another thing is, you said the gifts come in slowly. Sometimes from 5 years old to about 25, 30, it starts.
Well, I'm going to explain that, why I said that.
And sometimes it comes in rapidly.
Well, no,
It doesn't come in rapidly.
no.
Okay.
When I explain what I'm
Yeah.
going to explain,
Yes.
then that's when the rapid starts.
Okay.
But the gift was already starting way before that.
Yes. Okay.
And then, but where does the gift come from? It comes from God. And it comes with you when you're born.
All right. Okay.
Now, A lot of people will say, now wait a minute. I had no signs when I was 5 years old playing outside.
Yeah, your dogs.
Right?
Yeah.
You may not. But there's one thing you will start to recognize, especially when you get to around 9 to 13 years old. You're going to have that feeling that you're different from your siblings. You're going to feel a lot of people, Garvin, when they came. They even asked their parents when they were teenagers, "Did you adopt me?"
Yes.
Because you didn't think quite like your siblings. Not that you're better than them,
Yes.
but you were different.
Yeah.
And then, but here's the deal. Before you were born, everybody knows, and we've had many topics on it, that your life is written before you're born. Now, God picks certain individuals. Now, the process, how he selects them, that's him.
Yes.
We have no clue. And then some people that end up with gifts, they're like, why me? Why me?
Yes.
Well, only God knows.
Yes. Yes.
God knows you better than you know yourself.
Yes.
Now, you are born with that gift. And like I said before, a baby remembers everything up to the time that the soft spot starts to harden in their head. That's when
Yeah.
they forget. Now, that gift, have you ever heard of a time capsule?
No, except sci-fi.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the world, like a city, they will have a time capsule.
Yeah.
And you'll put in a letter
Yeah.
or something in the time capsule, and it's buried. And then it says, in 150 years, the time capsule will be dug up by the future mayor or the governor or whoever. And you were going to read, you'll read what the people were saying back then. Well, your gift is inside you like a time capsule. And God knows when that time capsule's time is up and that gift starts to be released.
Yes. Yes.
Now, the actual time capsule, your gift is creeping already. Just from the energy of it. Just the energy. But you don't really recognize it at that time. But what you were talking about a little bit ago is it could come rapid.
Yes.
That's when it was time for that time capsule to be released.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, that gift is starting to manifest within you.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of things that could happen. But, like in the Christian churches, right? They have people, all of a sudden, they will start speaking in tongues. And it's a language that no one else in the church will know.
Yes.
Then, at that time, they get kind of scared. They start to back off a little bit because they don't understand what's being said. The person that it's talking through don't even understand what's happening at that time. 9 times out of 10, the religious leader don't even know what's being said.
Yeah.
So they kind of section them off a little bit until it calms down.
Yeah.
But what they don't understand, there's a message in there.
Yes.
There's a message that was being given at that time for someone in that place.
But there are no interpreters, so how would we know what the message is?
Well, this is why we've been asking religious leaders to come,
Yeah.
because there are multiple languages, but there is one language that is universal
Yeah.
to God. And it's not a human language.
Not Sanskrit.
No.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is as they are actually talking in tongues, you can hear them and actually translate at the same time. Now, when that happens, when you start speaking that neutral language, that energy that's coming through them understands.
Okay.
Now it will start speaking what you're speaking.
Oh, right.
And we've demonstrated that time after time after time. And they're happy. That spirit, that Holy Spirit coming through them at the time, they get joyful. You could see it on the expressions of the people that somebody is understanding what
Yes.
they're trying to
Yes.
say.
Yes.
That it's not bad. Now, some people might, if they're possessed, they might bring up a demon, but the actions and the talk and the way it sounds is totally different.
Yeah.
And they get violent,
Yes.
right? So this is where training comes in, is to determine the difference between a positive
Oh,
and a negative.
Yeah.
Now, that's Christians. Then, also, you have in the Christian faith stigmata.
Yeah.
That happens.
That's, yeah.
Now, at that time, the person don't even understand either, but it's a blessing.
Yeah.
You're getting very close
Very
to Christ.
painful blessing. Of
Correct.
but
Now, let's go into Hinduism. Now, in Hinduism, we have people that all of a sudden, before they even go to a temple, when they hear music, when they hear drums, that energy starts to vibrate inside of them. Now, I'm not talking like a Trini wine,
yeah.
okay? I'm not talking about that type.
yeah.
It is an internal energy that is coming up through the body. Now, when that happens, they can start losing control of their body. And this is what you call a manifestation or having the Shakti. Now, when people get the Shakti, they're, and I'm not going to reveal it on YouTube, but I want the religious leaders of the Shakti temple to write me. There are two types of Shaktis, two channels of Shaktis. One is the Kundalini. Everybody hears of the Kundalini.
Yeah.
And there's another one. I want them to write me and tell me, and I will let you know next week if anybody even wrote, because I'll guarantee you they don't know. When people get Shaktis, the first thing people say when they go to a Shakti temple, because they don't understand, when that energy starts to come up into a person, and if they're not trained properly, they're going to be moving around, shaking their head, maybe going on the ground, they roll around. You know, there's a lot of different effects
Yes.
of having the Shakti.
There's no control, bodily control.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, that's the initial stage.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody manifesting the Shakti, and they keep doing that for a year, 2 years, they're not being trained.
Yeah.
That means whoever's in charge is not trying to uplift that individual to where they will manifest 100%. Now, I want to make this very clear, people. I'm not saying 100% of the deity. That's impossible. You are going to manifest 100% of what the human body can take.
Yes.
There's a difference. Now, if they start to manifest and they're centered, that's what has to happen.
Grounded, balanced.
The actual leader
Yeah.
has to train them and teach them how to center in the human body.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Is that the same as grounded? It's different,
Grounding but centered.
but
It's both at the same time.
yeah.
Because remember, that energy is trying to get used to your body.
Yes.
So there's going to be reactions. Now, this is where training comes in.
Yeah.
Now, when the Shakti comes up, now if that Shakti talks English or Hindu or Sanskrit only, you need to think twice. Because when they come full within the human body, you've seen it, Garvin.
Yes. Many times.
Very broken English. Very. And there's different languages in between,
In between. Yes.
right? So then you start seeing a difference. The person that is getting that energy, if they get it full, will not remember anything. They will not see anything. And they will not hear anything.
Yeah.
It is like you are sitting in the back seat of a car with a seatbelt on, with blinders on, and earplugs.
But you see, that's not possession. That is
No.
manifestation,
That is manifestation.
not possession.
No. Now, this is where we kind of get confused.
Yeah.
Not us, but the public. The public, when they see that, they think, oh God, it's the devil. It's not. Okay, this is a divine. Now, they may say, but that shouldn't happen. What do you mean it shouldn't happen? How are the angels? They're going to come into you. It could be Christian angels. It could be Michael. Could be Gabriel. Could be Ariel. And I can name off all the archangels. Right? Or it could be Lord Hanuman. It could be Lord Ganesh. It could be Sanginidi Baba, Munish Prem Baba, Kalbado Baba. It could be anybody or mother. They are coming for a reason. Now that person, when they start to manifest in there, within that body, it's not for show. I see people putting stuff up on internet and everything else. First of all, I've never seen a deity give permission to be filmed to go on TV or on the internet. They don't do that. It's for a specific reason why they're coming. Now, besides coming, whether you have the Holy Spirit coming within you, what they call the Holy Spirit, or whether it's the Shakti coming in you. Now, there's other terms all over the world, but these are the most popular two that they work with.
But is there a case of the body of the individual, the receptacle, the physical vehicle, unable to accommodate the manifestation? Is there a case of that? Or is the body always able to accommodate the manifestation?
Okay, you've got one question. I'm going to remember that. Now we have another question coming in here. So go ahead and ask your question.
You hear me clearly, right?
Yeah.
So, Marseille said something about the limit of like 100% of what the body could contain, right? Now, is it possible, is that limit a physical limit, like we will be drained physically?
Yes. What the body can handle itself. I want you to understand the energy amount that's coming into the human body is very minute of what they have. Now, angels, deities, they just don't have single power. So what I mean by that, they just can't, don't think When they come on this individual, that's where they're at only. No.
Oh, multiple.
They could be
manifestations.
in a million locations at one time. This is how much power that people don't understand. Even an angel. Go ahead.
Now, is there an event like where we know could increase our physical attributes like strength, energy-wise, like training and developing your body so that we could raise the bar to that limit? Or is there just one set limit?
No, there's never a set limit. So what I'm saying, but it depends on how much devotion you do in your faith and how much dedication and determination and what is the reason that you want to actually achieve it with that energy source. See, a lot of people, they're under the false. They think that when they're able to get this, that they're better than other people. No, people. Because when you're able to get that gift, you're just the vehicle. Don't you think it could jump to another vehicle and leave you?
Yeah.
They will. Okay. So this is where we need to look at having gifts. Now, when the Holy Spirit or the Shakti, or in the ancient word in terms, not in Hinduism, they say Chapolaite. Chapolaite. Now, Chapolaite, they say that when the root of the tree enters you and you water that tree down to the roots, now the roots to your feet. Now it starts to rise. Now when the energy starts to rise in the body, now there are many tree trunks. Correct?
Stroke, yes.
Now, with the tree trunks are different gifts. And in Hinduism, they might call it, you might achieve some siddhis.
Yeah.
Right? Now, one gift, you might be able to foresee. You might be able to foresee events
Clairvoyance.
before it happens. And it may come to you through voice, could come to you via dream, or some people mix a dream, Garvin, with a vision.
Yeah.
Two different things. Two different things, people. Now, when you foresee and you get those gifts of seeing, now you have another duty. The other duty is whoever that message is for, you have to deliver that message. Now here's the problem. Everybody loves to give good messages.
Yeah.
They love to give good messages. But sometimes, Garvin, we have to give not so good news.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's part of that job. But before I go on, I want to say again, thank you for the sponsors of Alpha Transport Limited, located in Kamuto Road, 405, Bearport, and Point Lisas on Alpha Drive, 289 Alpha Drive. And their numbers are 654-1033 and 654-0409. That's for Bearport. And also for Point Lisa, 636-0465. Now, another tree trunk could be that you can manifest the energy to take out demons, to clean demons out of homes, do exorcisms. That's one branch. So that person may not foresee. They are just the vehicle that you're going, you're just occupying, and you let God work through you.
So you might have multiple things that you could do, and then or you can have a singular thing you can do, like clairvoyance. You could foretell, and that's it. You can't do anything else.
Correct.
Yeah.
But from what I found out, if you work at it and you have the right guru, there are multiple things you could do. Multiple. Now, there's another tree trunk. And the tree trunk, and this happens with Christians, everybody. Your hands. You might be able to touch someone and take their pain. You might be able to pray with someone and calm them down with your hand. These are gifts that God gives. Now, we can go on and on and on. But what I'm trying to get people to realize is that, and I'm going to say it, technically, everyone has a gift. Everyone. It's just maybe the time capsule hasn't opened up yet. Maybe it's not the right time for you. Or maybe it started to open and you don't even understand what's going on. This is where you need to get with someone. And if you're starting to experience these things, then give us a call at 354-4459. Because next month, people, we are going to have a class. But it's only for selected. So what I mean by that, you need to come in. I'm going to see what you have. Because this class is for only people who have gifts.
Yes.
And when you've been at the same level for a long time and nobody is trying to help you, uplift you to where you could do things that maybe your leader can't do. Well, your leader should be happy. Your leader should be glad that who was under him at the beginning, he's helped them raise and go up. That is the duty of a spiritual leader. If they are holding people down, that is not a leader.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not a competition. Being in spirituality, Garvin, is not a not politician. It's not a competition. I got to watch what I say there.
Yeah.
You have to be there for the people. Now, some people will come and they say, I'm hearing voices. I'm hearing voices. Some people say they're seeing dead people, deceased people, or they're seeing demons, what they think they're seeing demons, because they don't really know, because nobody's trained them. So now they're coming, and I've had a couple that's even on my team, and they said, am I going nuts? And when I saw them and they asked me, I started chuckling. I was giggling. And I said, you're gifted. There is nothing mentally wrong with you. So if you would go to a psychiatrist, what do you think they're going to say when you say, I'm hearing voices? They're always talking to me. And there's more than one. The first signs of that is what you call schizophrenia. And they might give a medication for that. But what people who are gifted and they are given the medication, what they find out is that medication isn't working. Because medication is not going to hold God back.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
So if you're starting to experience some signs in your life, people, and you want to excel, you want to rise up, then give us a call. Because first, you have to have an understanding of exactly what is happening with you. And then eventually, but there's going to be one question I'm going to ask, and I'm going to tell you now. Why do you want the gift? What's the reason? Because as a spiritual leader, there's going to be people coming. And they know they have it, but they don't know nobody that'll help raise it to the full potential. They want it not really to help people. They want it for power. And power is the downfall of having a gift. You know, the object, and it just came in up here, and they put to help people selflessly help others. That is correct. Yeah. That is supposed to be your purpose. Now, some people have other gifts that doesn't deal directly with the manifestation energy. Some people, Garvin, are born with the gift of singing. Oh my God. When some people sing, all your hair will raise on your body. They are connecting to your inner soul. But what's remarkable is, are they connecting with your soul? Or is your soul recognizing who they are? That's the question you have to ask. Because your soul knows everything. You don't, as an individual. So when your soul starts to feel happy, you feel this, happiness that you normally don't feel when you're around certain people. Your soul is connecting. It doesn't mean they're your soulmate. Yeah. Now, this is where a lot of people make their mistakes too. But you're going to know this connectivity that is between people. Now, when people have gifts, when you use the gift, you have to keep it up. There's devotion. There's things you need to do. There's things in every belief that is required to maintain. It takes strict discipline of the individual to keep the gift active. Now, there are some people, I'm not going to mention who, but if you come here to get your gift to maximize to its full potential, I will guarantee you one thing. You don't have to smoke marijuana to manifest. You don't have to drink alcohol to manifest. That means you're not quite there yet. Okay? When you learn properly, you don't need these external things to bring your mind to a calmness.
How about this thing called ayahuasca? That's in the same category as alcohol and marijuana?
Yes and no.
Okay.
A lot of people use that for spiritual.
Yeah, shamans and so on.
Right. Also, the American Indians and the Aztecs they use what they call peyote,
Yes.
and they smoke it, right?
Yeah.
Now, when they smoke it in those sweat lodges.
Yes.
Now, they're putting their body through rigorous training. You're in a sweat lodge where you're up to 130 degrees, and you're staying there for 3 days straight, no water, and you're smoking peyote. Now you're developing, right? Every culture has their different ways of bringing up the gifts within them. But I have to ask again, what is the reason why you would want to do it? Because one of the things that happens, if you're just at the stage now to where the energy, the Shakti or the Holy Spirit is coming on you, but they're just playing. They're just playing. You're just dancing around and everything. And then some people speak half and half, right? That's not full, okay? But when time comes, Garvin, and you're reaching up to the limit to where that deity is going to come on you, 100%, not of them, but of what the body can handle. You're going to be asked the question, not from your guru. You're going to be asked from that power. Are you willing to accept to do our work?
Our work, I mean, in the work of the deity?
Their work.
Their work, spiritual work.
So the question is going to be asked to that individual. Now, it's up to you. You have a choice. Yes, I'm willing to do your work. I'm willing to do what is required of me to do that work. Now, when I say that, you have to fast properly.
Yes.
You have to sustain away from all meats, fish, eggs, alcohol, any substance, sex. So if you're married and you are starting to get the power and you're wanting to go down that road, your partner needs to have a clear understanding of what's happening, and they need to support it. It's very important. You can't hide something like that. Now, one of the viewers, they wrote down what you said. It is also meant for purging and releasing the body of trauma also.
So, that's the ayahuasca?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, see, we got some brilliant people out
Yeah,
there.
they know what to do.
They know, or as we're talking, they might be Googling to just verify what we're saying.
Yes.
You know, and thank you for that comment. So, what we're looking at is having a gift, everyone. It is so special. It is so special. But then there's a lot of people, Garvin. The old people used to say, if a person could see the people who have been deceased or walking, wandering the world, and they could see them, they were born with a veil. That's what the old time people used to say.
You're born with a veil.
Now, a lot of those people, when they do find their way to us, they say, can we stop it?
Yeah.
And the question is,
Why?
we cannot stop it. We can reduce it.
Yeah.
But a human cannot take away what God gave you.
Yeah.
We can reduce it to where it wouldn't bother you near as much, right? But then the question is, why? You just said it.
Yeah.
Why do you want it to go away? If you are taught and you are trained Now, people who have gifts, normally you become a magnet. You become a magnet. So what I mean by that, if a person has the ability to see the dead, or ancestors will come to him in dreams, or other undead people or dead people will come to you in your dreams. They're trying to give you messages. But then you find out that they're always around. They're trying to get to you.
Yeah.
Now, I want to explain why. If you are a person that died and you haven't left and now you've overstayed your time, so now you're just wandering. You're wandering around.
Yeah.
But you want to find a way to leave this realm, to go on your journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't you be attracted and drawn
To someone.
to people that could see?
Yeah. Yeah.
But a lot of these
Yeah.
people don't understand. What they're wanting to do is get you to recognize them, get you to understand they need to leave this plane, and you will go to the right person
Yeah.
to assist them
In
to
leaving.
go ahead and leave this plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of responsibility when you start receiving gifts.
Yeah.
And everything isn't just a pleasurable ride. It takes a toll on your body too.
Yeah, especially those with healing gifts. They some of them attract the illness that the illness leaves a person and comes into you. You have to learn how to prevent that from happening.
Correct. We talked about that.
We talked about that
in
some
class.
point.
Now, I've had a lot of people, they're in prayer groups, and they go out and they pray on people to help them.
Yeah.
And I say, that's great. But you have to safeguard yourself
Yes.
before you do that. Because I've had a lot of Reiki masters. I've had a lot of different type of masters come in here. I've had people who pray on people. I've had different types come in and they're feeling sick. The reason is whoever taught them did not teach them the safeguards
Yeah. So how to prevent it from
to
coming
where
in.
it doesn't enter any
Yeah,
extremity of your body.
Yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we've done cancer patients
Yeah.
with our hands.
Yes.
Well, you definitely have to safeguard yourself because you don't want that cancer entering your body.
Yeah.
So, now, if you are asked, are you prepared to accept the gift that God has gave you? And are you prepared to use the gift to help people selflessly? And you don't want to, I'm going to give you advice. Never say no. Let them know. Can it be at a later time in my life?
Yeah. Sure. I was going to ask you that. Yeah.
Never
If-
refuse
Yeah.
unless you, in your heart, soul, and mind, you know that this is not what you want to do.
At this moment, but maybe later on in life you might.
That's why I said,
Yeah.
never say no.
Yeah.
Just ask, can it be delayed to a later,
A later
time,
time.
in your life?
Yes.
When you feel more comfortable,
Yeah.
okay?
But,
Now, another one that just came in. They stated, with obia, does that also mean an evil person can reduce a good person's gift?
that's a good question.
Yes,
Yeah.
it cannot take away your gift. But if a demon enters a body, a human vessel, and you have a gift, because it's direct,
Yeah.
it is inside you, it can neutralize that
The
gift,
gift. Yeah.
but it cannot get rid of the gift.
Yeah.
So that's when you remove the demon possession,
Yeah.
you can build back that gift very fast.
Oh, yeah. So it just submerged.
It was just neutralized for that brief period
Yeah.
when it was in.
Can be revived.
Correct. So thank you for that comment. You know, don't be afraid if somebody starts to speak tongues in front of you. Don't back off. You stand there, try to listen. Sometimes it depends on the spirit that's coming through. Ask them, can you please speak English? Or at least some English words,
Yeah.
to where you might get adjust. But a lot of times they're testing. How do people react?
Would
Do
be
you-
fearful and so on. Yeah.
Right. I want you to understand, God can come in so many different ways. It could really blow your psyche if you really know how they can communicate with you. So, go ahead.
Yeah, but you're saying that don't be afraid of the gift, but you have to.
No, if you're witnessing that gift,
Yeah.
if another person
Yeah.
in a church starts speaking tongues,
Right.
don't just push them in the
As
corner
a
or back
witness,
off.
as a witness, yeah.
Right.
You don't make them feel too uncomfortable by like showing fear and running away and screaming and that kind of stuff and running. You make them feel uncomfortable, and they will not want to encourage the development of that gift, that individual.
Correct. But again, in order to develop the gift, you need to have a proper teacher. You need to have someone, not that just reads books or dabbles on the internet. Half the stuff on the internet isn't even correct. What I'm trying to say, get somebody that has the knowledge, but also they have the experience
Yeah, to guide.
that is going with this.
Yeah.
We've had people in the past that did regression. And when they came back out of the regression, something came with them.
With them, yeah. So,
And they started going nuts. They lost their job. They almost got divorced. They were screaming the whole time. But once they got a hold of us, we went there and we took care of it. But I was telling the individuals that actually conducted the regression, before you do something, you need to have the experience if this happens or this happens.
yes.
What do
Contingency.
you do to take them out of it?
Contingency plans.
It is very important. You need to have that experience. So, everybody, we're going to have the classes in February. On the next program here, and also on the morning show, on Conversations with Zelisa on Synergy. Synergy at at 10 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I will release the time and the date. If you are experiencing any of these things, or you've been experiencing it and you've leveled off for years, but you want to raise yourself, give us a call, 354-4459. Oh boy, I got a doozy of a question. One more thing. Alpha Transport Limited, the sponsors. of this program, we want to say thank you so much. And they are Kamuta Road in Barrapore, 405 Kamuta
Yes.
Road. And that's 654-0133 or 654-0409. Or the location in Point Lisas, which is 289 Alpha Drive, 636-0465. We want to say thank you so much for sponsoring this program. Also, I love what this person wrote. What happens to those who pretend to have gifts and claim to help people? And how do you spot them?
Yeah, that's difficult. Yeah.
No, it's not difficult. It's easy to spot them.
Yeah.
When you walk in and they start to manifest, and they do the same thing every time when they manifest. Number 2, they only speak English to people. Number 3, if they start jarring and they're always using a feather or a neem spraying, and they're not doing pure contact. In the 33 years I've been teaching, never, when you see power come 100% within the human body can take, they never use the neem, and they never use, they use their hand, right? And they will get immediate results on the spot. Either the person deserves to have it or not. Now, speak the deity language.
Yeah. Not English.
And if they can't understand, you're going,
Yeah.
okay, it's time for me to go home.
Yeah.
Okay, deities can speak any language in the world. They can fluently. Okay, if they can't do that, you need to look elsewhere. The next thing, the next part of the question, what happens to those who pretend to have gifts?
Yeah. That's fraud.
No. All I have to say, I can't judge no one. But all I know, they got a rude awakening when they depart from here. They have one frightening rude awakening, because the ones they are faking will be the ones waiting for you when you leave this body. And you have to go through them first before you go on your journey. Other than that, that's up to God. I don't know past that. But it is wrong to mislead people. Okay? It is totally wrong. So, everybody, we only have 4 minutes left. If God has blessed you with a gift, one of the branches and trunks of the tree, then embrace it and get with somebody that can explain and help you grow, because within you another tree grows, and there could be many branches that can come off of the main trunk of the tree that was given to you. It depends on what your path and what your purpose is. And when people recognize and understand their gift, now their purpose starts to become more clear of why they're here on earth in the first place. You know, having a gift, I want to make this statement very clear. Having a gift does not mean that you are above or more special than anyone else. I want to make that very clear. The next thing is, you can never abuse your gift. What you have to do every day is respect that gift that God gave you. And thank God every day that You
Blessed
are
you.
starting to understand why he gave it and what your purpose is.
In life,
You know, God, we think we know God. I don't think we hardly know anything of God right now. There is so much to know. All we can do is talk from experience. We can talk from what we've read. But talking from what you read has no substance if you don't have the experience to back it up.
Practice.
And when you read from the scriptures, you just don't read for people to hear. You break it down for people to understand. I want to say thank you again for Alpha Transport Limited for sponsoring the show. Use 97.5 FM, ZMB Communications. I want to say thank you for everybody. And it's been a pleasure being with you. Wait till next week. I have a guest. And we're going to go so deep, you need to record it next week. Everybody, it has been a pleasure.